Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Of course, you would have heard by now that Mick Mulvaney's out, and Mark Meadows, is in as Trump's chief of staff. I wonder why he has moved Mulvaney on. He tends to move them on after he's had a loss of some description. So we'll ask the cards why he moved Mulvaney on. But I think this is in response to drawing the line in the sand for his impeachment. It's almost like Trump gets what he needs out of those that he draws in around them, and they're pretty much tossed onto the heap. Now, don't forget Mulvaney had played a pretty significant role in that, and the Inspector General actually found that holding back that money, which had already been allocated by Congress, was actually against the law. I wonder what Mulvaney's thinking at the moment. We'll move through. I don't know if some of you have seen it, but a federal court judge has come out and pretty much slammed William Barr for his interference in the Mueller report and redacting things that shouldn't have been redacted. They're saying ordinarily something like this would have obviously caused the Attorney General to probably step down, but there's been so much mud there that it's very difficult now to, there's just been so much of it. But here is a little bit of what the federal court judge said. The court cannot reconcile certain public representations made by AG Barr with the findings in the Mueller report. The inconsistencies between Barr's statements made at a time when the public did not have access to the redacted version to assess the veracity of his statements and portions of the redacted version of the report that conflict with those statements caused the court to seriously question whether AG Barr made a calculated attempt to influence public discourse about the report in favour of President Trump, despite certain findings in the redacted version of the Mueller report to the contrary. The circumstances generally, and AG Barr's lack of candour specifically, call into question AG Barr's credibility in turn, the department's. Now, that is, huge, absolutely huge that a judge had to come out and do that. As a result, he's actually taking that redacted portion of the report. He's going through the redactions one by one to see if things there have just been redacted due to political reasons and not lawful reasons, and will then obviously release his own version of that section of the report. So we'll ask what's in there that has caused this George Bush appointed judge to come out and really lash the AG. So we'll look at that. Also, I was quite saddened as well to hear that Warren is pulling out. Of course, she is the only female candidate. I got very, very positive cards for her that I interpreted that in some way. What were my exact words? I don't understand these cards, I think I said, but in some way Elizabeth Warren will be meaningful to this race. So we'll look at what's her future now. If we've got time, I do want to ask, did Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates funnel dollars into the Trump campaign in 2016, and why? All of these readings are for entertainment purposes only. I'm using my classic Tarot Deluxe. Let's get started and have a look at Mulvaney. We're only 4 minutes in, not too bad for me. All right, Mulvaney. Show me Mick Mulvaney, the acting. He was only an acting chief of staff, which told us that he really would be used in some way. He's now going to be a special envoy. Is it a special envoy to Ireland? I don't think that's much of a position. So I think this is actually all about punishment in a way for the impeachment. Which is obviously typical Donald Trump behaviour. So, all right, Did Ukraine cost Mulvaney his position? Show me, why is Mulvaney being moved on? Why is Mulvaney being moved on? So it is all part of the cycle. It's all part of the newness. It's all about, what we do in business, or not we, what he does in business. He'll bring people in, he will use their talents, and then when he's finished with them, off they go. The Ten of Wands, Mulvaney wasn't successful enough. He didn't protect him. He didn't, because remember, this president doesn't take personal responsibility for anything. But this is also a little bit of a desperate move. This is showing what a weight that Trump is carrying, and he's hoping that Meadows will lighten his load. Will Meadows? I'm not sure really about Mark Meadows. He was challenged by the truth coming out. Okay, so as the Chief of Staff Mulvaney, or Acting Chief of Staff Mulvaney, bore a responsibility for those that worked within the White House, and of course we had whistleblowers. So this is why. This is all part of the retribution for the impeachment. He really didn't like that he got impeached, did he? The Moon card. All right, so we've got keeping of secrets. That's interesting. I wonder what Mulvaney knows, and whether there will be a time in the future when he talks. That might be a worry for Donald Trump. Yep. This is no progress. He was a pretty harsh judge of Mulvaney as a result of what occurred with Ukraine. The potential future, the Queen of Cups, she has her lid on that cup. She could quite possibly take it off. Will Mulvaney talk in the future? I guess if he's summoned, he probably will. Illusions, delusions, choices, smoke screens. So Mark Meadows' appointment, of course, it's designed to capture the headlines again. He's really doing what he's good at, in Trump, in really capturing that news cycle, which tells me he wants attention taken off something else. Okay, and of course the media fall for it. All that's coming through my news feed is breaking news: Mulvaney out, Meadows in. There's something else that he's trying to obscure here. The real story, or the real thing that Trump is hiding, is being obscured by these headlines. Okay, so loss and betrayal. This is back to the impeachment again. He really did take that personally. The environment around is actualizing something into reality. That magician card always comes up with Donald Trump, doesn't it? He's really stayed in power when it would have other presidents probably would have been impeached. So actualizing something into reality. Okay, so the hopes and fears, we do have partisanship. Meadows led, did he, the Tea Party? Well, he is very, very far right winged, and so Trump sees this as a strength. It plays right into his hands. That's what he does. That's why he's so unpopular, because that's the way he conducts his politics. We do have justice here as an outcome. Justice. Again, I go back to Congress. Yep. This is the Democratic Party in the House. And this is also something, the Two of Wands, which is the crossroads card, making a decision, but also a plan that comes to fruition in time. And we've got endings. So he had always intended to use Mulvaney up and get rid of him, and that's why he was only ever an acting. Now, remember, Mulvaney was the former was it director or cabinet minister for your Office of Budget? Is that what it's called? And there's a significance in that. There is a significance in that. Let's have a look at what's behind at the base of the pack. We do have restriction. you know, he did purge. He absolutely did purge because he is worried with that justice card. I'm going to clarify that. There is something else that he's very worried about, and we've got the angel of temperance coming forward, and it is to do with money. So there's something else here. I'm just going to put the base of the cards back in, the base of the pack back in, and we're going to clarify this justice card because, what else did Mulvaney do that he shouldn't have done with allocations? What else did he do? See, that's the other thing that Trump does. He gets rid of those closest to him that, you know, where he thinks he might get burned for something. Let's have a look. Clarifying the justice card, please, Spirit. Let's clarify that justice card. Clarifying the justice card. What is this justice card here? There's something that around death. When I say death, this is the ending of something. So he's what? Okay, so the King of Wands hits congressional allocations, I feel. Show me this justice card, please. Oh, something else. He's holding back information. He's insecure. This is around money. So it's not just Ukraine. That might have been one of many things that that he's either diverted, or this is congressional money or congressional allocations. Show me this justice card. Okay, something else is wanting to come out. Yeah, there's something else here. Absolutely something else that's associated with Mulvaney. He's trying to put a big distance between he and Mulvaney. We could hear, I think I saw that in the month when I did the reading for Trump in the month of March, that there could be something around congressional allocations. This could be something we already know about, that the Democratic Party in the House might be investigating a little bit more and playing their cards close to the chest, because Nancy Pelosi and her team have been quiet since the impeachment. And if I know Nancy Pelosi, she has a plan. All right, so Mulvaney, he does know stuff. Just quickly, he was there for his usefulness. He is being blamed for what happened with the whistleblowers within the White House. It was all part of a plan, of course. There's something else to do with budget diversions, etc. And then we've got that tower there, which is telling me that this could actually keep unfolding and potentially go quite wrong for Trump. So show me, will Mick Mulvaney ever spill the beans? Will he talk? Will he tell what he knows? What's Mick Mulvaney's future? What's Mick Mulvaney's future? Over to Ireland. Seems like he's getting out of the country. All right, so getting far, far away. We have the Eight of Swords here. Would be interesting. So he's being restricted, but yeah, that's King of Pentacles. Wow. And the Sun card here, full transparency. And we've got Judgment. Okay, so there is something around what Mick Mulvaney has done for this president who happens to be a businessman. Is this to do with the wall? It's hard to know, but I feel that there's something else aside from Ukraine around budgetary allocation. All right, will he talk? He may do. With that Sun card, full transparency, he may do in the future. All right, what's in those redactions that made that federal court judge react so when I say wildly, so uncharacteristically? It's almost unprecedented. So there's something in those redactions that's quite. I think this case arose out of a Freedom of Information matter brought against the DOJ with this Mueller report. There is something. What is in those redactions? And I'm getting money as well. So I keep going back to something within the Mueller report has uncovered something around money that has been buried, that may explain is it campaign donations? I always felt at the time there was something that was being hidden from us. That actually Mueller uncovered around campaign donations, which would have been quite stopped Trump in some way, put scrutiny on his campaign funds, perhaps in 2020. Could it have been the inauguration, protecting, of course, Ivanka and Melania, who were both involved in that? I think Ivanka was the overseer. So what's in the redactions here? What's in the redactions? Show me what's in the redactions. What's in the redactions? Something that they wanted to prevent, but it's going to shed light on a lot of things is what I saw. Okay, so it's overseas, something to do with foreign policy, because we've got that world card. Russia, to borrow his phrasing. Okay, so we've got the world card, we've got Russia. Okay, so they're the signifier cards, something very much to do with Russia, and I feel donations. The Hierophant. Okay, so what is this? The Hierophant is the court, could be the federal court judge. We've got defending oneself as well. It could be something in the past. Of course, Barr defended Trump, and the judge has called him out. It is to do with the Trump organization, the Ten of Pentacles, and their connection with Russia. Okay, so it is a plan or that was undertaken. This is a project, a plan, had to do with the Trump organization and Russia and possibly other foreign countries as well. It is, here's the Tower again, right now, in the here and now. So whatever this is pretty serious. And that's what caused that judge to do what he did. Now, what's going to happen? It will give us hope. Mueller always, his report always created hope for us. It is the genesis of where we are now. He accepted an offer, or he took an offer. And we've got judgment. It could actually, this judgment card came up for Trump about a month ago. He's going to be very harshly judged, but this is an inevitability coming forward here. I love it when the judgment card comes through. We've got truth coming out with that Knight of Swords, and we've got, it's a bombshell. Okay, it's a bombshell. So keep your eyes on it. I know you're jaded. I know you go, well, Mueller, heard enough, whatever. This is pretty big. It is overseas trade, commerce. It is the link with foreign. It is the link with Russia and the Trump organization in some way. We've got the Fool card and we've got the Hermit. Investigation is connected to Trump's win. So there is something in there that's been redacted around Trump, the Trump organization's relationship, or could be campaign donations with Russia. It is bombshell. It is, if this came out now, there was a reason why Barr redacted so heavily to protect this president. That federal court judge is not mincing words here. So keep your eye on that. Don't be jaded. Focus back in on that, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's just go. I was going to do Saudi Arabia and United Emirates, but honestly, we've had enough bombshells for today. I'll get to that at another date. I want to move to Elizabeth Warren, and I think I might actually just change some decks because I found those cards that I pulled for her were celebration, community, coming together. They were very auspicious cards, and although I knew she wouldn't do well, I thought, what is going on here? And in some way, she has meaning down the track. There is something that she will do that will have that will help. That will be very helpful. Now, I'm not sure. I don't want to ask whether she will support or endorse Biden or Warren because we'll leave that. I don't want to muddy those waters. She hasn't said who she's going to endorse. Other people have said she could wait and angle to be a VP in some way. That could be it. That could be part of her plan. Or she could be looking for a fairly big post in a new Democratic government. In some way, though, this is before your convention. I feel that her actions in some way are going to be important. All right, so let's have a look. Elizabeth Warren's future. It was, quite with a touch of sadness that she left the campaign. She's so highly qualified. And, of course, she was the only woman left in the campaign. So let's have a look at show me Elizabeth Warren's future. Show me Elizabeth Warren's future. She's getting a lot of press time or media time. Okay, we've got the signifier cards. This wasn't an easy choice for Elizabeth Warren. It wasn't an easy choice at all. And she was challenged by the ending of her nomination. So I think she stayed really to the bitter end, and it was only because she had no choice that she had to go. Some people have asked me about the health of both Sanders and Biden and what would happen if either of them got ill, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to read on that. I don't think that's the death of either of those candidates. I feel that's the ending of her campaign. But look, again, we have the Sun card as the foundation of the reading. She has a bright future, absolutely a bright future, and she is spinning something at the moment. When I say spinning, she's creating something, a pathway for herself. The Ten of Pentacles, she was hamstrung by the donations, by big money donations not coming her way. I think she had a rule around that she wouldn't take them. And of course, she was outmatched by someone like Bloomberg. But yeah, there was an inevitability about her campaign ending. But look at that Sun card. So again, we're getting that beautiful positive card. The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, she's still got a role to play in something that is foundational. Okay, so the Seven of Swords. Now that is again. I guess there's a negative connotation here. This is around her being let down by someone. Okay, and I'm not going to say who that might be, but she feels let down by somebody, and obviously that's in the Democratic Party. However, there is a positive aspect to this card as well. She's going to take out of that situation, take what she needs from this bundle of swords here. She will take what she needs, and she's going to take that into the future in some way. Yeah, look, this is not just Warren, how difficult this was. This is also other people. And that's why, she is getting a lot of media at the moment, because the media is picking up on that. The High Priestess, of course, this is the Divine Feminine in some way. Her story is still being written. So don't save your tears. There's a definite pathway forward. Endings and beginnings. That's what she feared, but that's also the hope. And of course, we have the Queen of Wands. So there is a very, very important role for her to play. We do have to remember she's a senator. She will go back to the Senate. Things are turning in her favour. So while ever she had this, this Seven of Cups, this hard choice to make, the Death card, not enough campaign money. These are really strong positive cards. She does have a choice to make. This is around who she's going to endorse. And we've got the Empress card as well. So whatever she does is going to be significant in some way. Again, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is around money. We've also got the Five of Swords. So again, this is difficult energy for her. She does make a statement about there were only two laneways, and they were already taken by the moderate and the progressive, and there was no room for her particular campaign. But we've got this beautiful truth. She's going to be using her voice, and here we have this card that threw me because it's so positive. She has a community around her. She will continue to have a community around her. She does have a fairly strong place in the next Democratic government. but she does also have a choice to make coming up, and so there is a plan for her. She does have a plan, so she's going to still be relevant to this race, and I do feel that's around who she endorses. But I do feel that her future is fairly strong. So look for her. Look for her to re-emerge in a new democratic government. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed the readings. I won't go into Saudi Arabia and UAE because it's going to be a heavy reading, and there'll probably be questions arising from the pools. So I'll do that at another date. So thank you for tuning in, viewers. Have a great weekend. I'll be back after the weekend with some more readings for you. Thank you.